Hey guys, this is Brian, aka Texas Treasures, and today I want to tackle the question of should you offer free returns on eBay? And I want to look at it specifically from the lens of a clothing seller. Should you offer free returns on eBay as a clothing seller? And to me, the answer is definitely yes. I want to go through all the reasons why, and maybe we can look at a couple of negative scenarios if there are any. I am a six-figure reseller on eBay. I don't say that like it's a big bragging right or anything, just to prove that I do this full time and I really like to study eBay and to figure out the best methodology. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. All right. So free eBay returns. There are many reasons why I recommend doing free eBay returns if you're a clothing seller. Now, there are a few. Let's Before we get into that, let's talk about other categories, right? If you sell refrigerators or big appliance or maybe even electronics, something where returns are could be very expensive, then this may not apply. But we're talking about clothing, where if it's a shirt, you're typically spending $4 to $6 on a shipping label. A pair of jeans, between $6 to $10 for a return shipping level, especially with the cubic shipping, which is now on eBay. So, what are the reasons why you should offer free returns on eBay for clothing? And these are in no particular ranking, but let's look at them all. First of all, you get a 10% final value fee credit on your eBay account. Whenever you sell something on eBay, you get charged a final value fee. I think it's around 13.5%. So you do get 10% of that back as a credit. So if you if you got a $5 final value fee on an item, you would get a 50-cent credit. So you are earning some of that money back. And with that credit, that will actually kind of cover the cost of your return. So in a way, it really doesn't cost you anything. So that's one reason. The second big reason is you can get negative feedback protection. So if you don't offer free returns, and here's another caveat, I do recommend charging shipping. I should have said that at the beginning. If you offer free shipping, well, if a customer, and you offer free returns, if a customer says, hey, this item doesn't fit, when they return the item, you have to refund the total amount, including the shipping that you baked into that. Now, if you offer flat rate shipping where you charge a customer, let's say $7.99 flat rate shipping, they get the shirt, the jeans, whatever the clothing is, it doesn't fit, they return it. When you get it back, you refund the amount of the purchase price, but you withhold that shipping amount. So you you would definitely, if you're selling clothing, I would seriously consider charging for shipping. But now let's focus on the negative feedback protection. Let's say they they open a return and they leave you some negative feedback. This shirt fits like let's say you listed a large. This fits like a small. You include the measurements, and this is just the customer's belief. They didn't read the title, they didn't read the description, they didn't look at your measurements. They return it. You issue them the refund. And the thing is, after that return closes, eBay will have your back. They will go back in and remove that negative feedback. If they don't, you can reach out to them and contact them. You can do it through eBay. You can do it through eBay for Business on Facebook, and they will remove that negative feedback, but only if you offer free returns on eBay. If you don't, then you don't get that negative feedback return. All right. So related to that, if you're a top rated seller, plus you offer free returns, and I would recommend, by the way, offering at least 30-day free returns. I do 60-day free returns, which is the maximum you can offer on eBay. Think about it. If somebody's going to return an item, they're going to return it usually within the first week, usually within the first few days. Very rarely, if ever, does anyone return an item on day 59. By that time, they've forgotten. And a lot of times, another thing about the free returns, I would say probably 30 to 50% of the time when a customer opens a return, they don't even actually send the item back. People have a short attention span and they forget. So if you're a top rated seller, right? And that's another video on that. And you offer free returns. And let's say the customer, they have an item and it was fine. It was a shirt. The customer actually damaged the item. All right, let's talk about a pair of shoes because I've sold some new shoes with this applies recently. You sell a pair of new shoes, the customer wears them for a couple of days. They're now used, they're a little bit dirty. They return them. You can actually withhold up to 50% deduction. So let's say the shoes were $80 plus shipping. They return them. They say they don't fit. They are now no longer new, plus they're dirty. So in that case, I would withhold the original shipping, plus I would deduct up to 50%. So you could withhold the shipping, say it's $12.99. You could also withhold up to $40. And then you can turn around and list those as a pre-owned pair of shoes, which they are now. So that's a really good benefit to free returns. Another important reason is search placement. You know, we talk a lot about the eBay algorithm. I spelled that right? Yeah, I did. So eBay is rating all these things, right? Do you offer free returns? Are you a top rated seller? Where are you located? What's the price of your item? What's your history in this category? But one of the things they do look at, do you offer free returns or not? If you have if I'm seller A and I'm offering free returns on a Polo Ralph Lauren button-up shirt, right? And it's priced $19.99. And seller B has the same price on the same shirt, but they don't offer returns, much less free returns. But you could offer paid returns or no returns. Which listing is better for the customer? Well, obviously the one with free returns. So that's going to be placed higher in the search placement, which means you're more likely to be seen by the customer, which means you're more likely to make the sell, which means you're going to make more money. So search placement is another reason. Okay. Well, here's one a lot of people that say you shouldn't offer returns, or especially not free returns, don't think about. The customer can lie and force a return anyway. And eBay's going to side with them. When a customer, if they say item not as described and they lie, and I have a video on this where how to deal with this, and it happens if you've been selling for any length of time, you know what happens. Well, eBay is going to side with them and they're going to force you to accept the return. They may even send the customer the return label. And guess what? Now you've got a return you have to deal with. You're upset. The customer lied. You can't deduct anything. You don't have negative feedback protection. You don't get the 10% final value fee. You're not getting increased search placement. So this one by itself, just the fact that they can do this, in my opinion, you should offer free returns for that reason, if nothing else. All right. Related to that is the fact that it increases buyer confidence, right? Me personally, I'm not buying from a seller that doesn't offer free returns because that tells me they don't stand behind their product, and it makes the buyer wonder what is wrong with this. Because think about it, you can go to any store, you can go to Target, Walmart, you can go to the mall, you can go to the Nike outlet, you buy something, you can return it. So why would somebody want to shop online and buy from someone that doesn't offer returns, especially free returns? Well, the truth is it lowers their buyer confidence in you, and you're less likely to get that sell. All right. And here's another point. By the way, if you're finding this information valuable, subscribe to the channel if you want more eBay content. And if you disagree or you agree, comment below. What do you think about returns, free returns on eBay? And now remember, we're talking about with clothing. It could vary depending on what you sell. it doesn't actually increase your return rate. A lot of people think it does. Well, here, let me show you. So if you go onto eBay, you can see your return rate. And I sell clothing and shoes. And my return rate is at 4.43%. That's not that high. That means only 4 out of every 100 sales are going to be returned to me. And guess what? I don't return the shipping unless I make a mistake. Now, if there's a flaw I missed, then yeah, I'm going to return the complete price, including the shipping. And every once in a while that does happen, but it's very rare. So my return rate is only 4%. Most retailers, brick and mortar, at like 10% or higher. So with by offering free returns, it doesn't necessarily mean that your return rate is going to increase. So here are the reasons I come up with why you should offer free returns. The final value fee credit. This is the summary, right? You get negative feedback protection. You can do a 50% deduction on a return if you're a top rated seller plus free returns. You get better search placement, which leads to more sales. A customer can lie and force the return anyway. It increases buyer confidence, and it actually does not even increase your return rate. So thinking about all this, why would you not offer free returns on eBay? There's so many benefits that you gain. Um, to me, it's a no-brainer. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. We will see you on the next video.